You like horror movies and Halloween masks? Consider supporting us by liking our videos, comment, and subscribing. The littlest effort will help us out. Now enjoy the video, boils, ghouls, and the non-boonary.
Ah yes, as is tradition, anything that is popular is bound to be bootlegged to high heavens. From video games, toys, to shirts, bootlegs are synonymous with geek culture. One of the lesser talked about knockoffs are the various unlicensed masks based off of the classic slashers. And no, not just the typical Temu or AliExpress, I mean with some random ass company can't afford the rights to Pinhead, so they make shit like this. I thought it would be fun to roast these masks and talk about many that they haven't seen. This is the world of horror movie bootleg and knockoff masks. One of the most ripped off horror icons is without a doubt Jason Voorhees. It makes sense, his mask is iconic, but it's an item that existed long before old J-Man ever had it. However, there's definitely a reason why every Halloween store started stocking those blank white hockey masks after Jason made his pop culture impact. One of the earliest that I could find was actually made by Rubies back in 1987. This very simple trimmed down mask would later be copied by the company Travelers, and eventually everybody. It seems like everyone and their mom took this mask and turned it into the gruesome and dirty Jason mask. I mean, it makes sense as there wasn't a lot of cheap options back then. Even when it wasn't converted, this mask popped up everywhere. The most famous example is probably when Eminem wore it back in the early Slim Shady days. This right here. This is without a doubt the knockoff Jason mask to have a chokehold on people. Usually found in Dollar Generals or dollar stores, this plastic plate looking motherfucker probably looks just like Jason. If you're legally blind. We could spend all day going over every single generic blank hockey mask, but I bet you guys want to see the weird shit. Companies have started to get bold with how they rip off other properties because there's no denying who this is supposed to be. My first thought was, couldn't they afford a zombie mask or some sort of bald cap? He looks like every teacher that says, "In all my years of teaching." Second, why is it so damn small? It looks like it's hugging his face, and no, not in a cool Jason Goes to Hell way, but in the way they couldn't afford a child or, someone whose face wasn't built like a fucking Minecraft block. This one is especially funny, made by Funworld, the company behind Ghostface. This one is labeled Masked Madman. How creative. Now we get to Jason's biggest rival, Freddy Krueger. After debuting in 1984, Freddy became the face of horror and started to fit right in with the all-time classics like Frankenstein and Dracula. However, the amount of bootleg masks that use Freddy's burnt likeness is crazy. Even to this day, searching burnt man mask on Google will lead you down a rabbit hole.
You wanna play a little game?
It seems like everybody was bit by the bootleg bug. Billy from Saw? Nah, I prefer Horror Puppet. His face screams Madonna, but his hair screams Hawthorne Heights.
So come on and listen, Black Lions!
The last type of bootlegs we'll be talking about are the ones I mentioned earlier, like Alibaba, AliExpress, or even Temu. These are made in massive quantities and in poor quality. Some of these are ground up sculpts or recasts of official masks. First, we have Halloween's Michael Myers. Ever since the 2018 movie, fast fashion cosplay companies have been tricking people into buying their garbage. Either they entice people with cheap prices, or they just straight up bait and switch the product. These are some of the worst bootleg Michael Myers masks I can find. This mask hair looks fine, but why do they use a flat ruler to fucking glue it on? Yuck. And the little peach splatter at the bottom is a poor attempt at trying to replicate the original Shatner. And it looks like Rob Zombie's version of the character wasn't safe either. Talk about a bad hair day. And then finally we have, You thought Michael was the only one? What about Leatherface, Art the Clown, Chucky? Don't forget hypersaturated and derpy liquor. The last thing I want to talk about is a very specific company by the name of Rubber Johnnies. Based in the UK, this company has recasted the work of many talented artists and produced cheap imitations of many masks. Their masks based off of famous horror icons are some of the worst. Here's some examples. So that about does it. I can't handle another one of these atrocities. Have you ever been fooled and bought one of these? Let me know. This has been Matthew from Piscoli Productions. See you next time.